What's up guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to try and mod this Game Boy Advance. Just a little disclaimer, I am not a professional, I've never done this before, this is my first attempt. And it's going to be a soft mod, so no soldering or anything like that involved. Something pretty easy that most people should be able to do. So what I'm actually going to try and do is reshell and put in a new screen, a backlit screen. So the reason I'm trying to mod this Game Boy Advance, because as you know, I keep most of my collection authentic and don't really change anything on them. But I've got two Game Boy Advances, and this out of the two of them is in a little bit worse condition in terms of some fading on the case. So let me show you the case that we're going to change to. So it's nothing amazing, it is a bit of a cheap one from AliExpress. And if you can't tell already, it's a bit of a Pokemon style Game Boy Advance case. This cost me just under £11. So if you saw at the front there, you had two stickers which we're going to stick on the back to make it look a bit better. So this should come with everything you need. So you've got the front screen, and inside I think there's some buttons that you can put into place. So yeah, you can't complain for £11. Let me just grab the other one. Right, so that's what they look like side by side. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to also try and change the screen. So I've bought a screen off AliExpress as well. This came to around 31, 32. Comes with a screen and a small motherboard, which I need to put all together and attach inside. So yeah, like I said earlier, I am not a professional at this. This is my first attempt. So I've watched a few how-to videos online. I'm speeding up the footage because there's nothing worse than watching someone go at normal speed opening a console. So I thought I'd speed it up. So there are 6 screws on the back, which you just saw, which you take out. So there are 3 different types of screws in this handheld, so you want to separate them when you're opening it up. So you get the 6 off the back, put them in a pile. The second type of screw is in the battery compartment, and it's only one of those. So if you open up the back, take the batteries out, you'll see a small black one at the bottom there, which is just a normal Phillips head. So you unscrew that, and then we should be able to get into the console. And it's pretty easy, just open it up just like that. Right, so once you're in, there are 2 more screws holding in the motherboard. But firstly, what you want to do is take out all the loose parts of the Game Boy Advance, so the trigger buttons and the side panels, take that all off, move that to the side. Then you want to disconnect the ribbon cable from the screen, which is at the top of the console there. So once you remove the 2 screws holding in the board, it should come out quite easily once you've done all that. Like I say, put them in different piles, unlike me, because it does get a little bit confusing. So it's highly recommended that you test the screen first before putting it all back together. So I did quickly test it. It was quite a straightforward process in putting it all together. There was a ribbon cable that went into the screen, that went into the motherboard, and then another ribbon cable from the motherboard into the original. Let me just show you here. So you've got the screen there. The ribbon cable attaches to the screen, then onto the spare motherboard it provides, and then another ribbon cable into the slot for the original screen. So it all looks like that put together. Now there's a couple of different types of Game Boy Advances in terms of how they're put together. So this comes with a spare ribbon cable. This one is not for my handheld, but there are some other Game Boy Advances that use that one instead of the one that I'm using. Because that is slightly a different shape in different consoles. Right, so the next part of this mod is we need to get the new case out and ready for transfer. So this case is very low market. There are a lot of better cases out there, a lot more better material, better paint jobs. Like I say, this is probably the cheapest of the cheap, just because I didn't know if I was going to be able to put this together well, or whether I was going to break the whole thing. So I thought I'd go cheap end, just so that I can get a bit of practice in. So this is what it looks like. The front of it looks okay in terms of the paint, but there is some paint transfer at the top there. But when you buy anything from AliExpress, expect the worst, because it's not high quality at all. So as you can see, it comes with all these extra buttons, all these extra little clips. These feel very plasticky, so what I wanted to do was use the original. Because I don't plan on reusing the old case, I thought it'd be better to transfer all the actual moving parts over, because like I say, these all just feel very plasticky, not very well made, so there was no need to include them in the new handheld. Just show you a little bit closer, they even got a slightly different color to them. So this also comes with a new front screen, protective screen, which looks nice. So I'll stick that to the front of the handheld and then it'll look brand new, just like that. So the first part to do would be to do that. I can't see why not. So you grab the front of the Game Boy, peel off the sticky back, and then just lay it down. Pretty straightforward. Anyone can do it. So once you get that off, stick it on. It's pretty centered, so you don't have to worry about it not fitting on. It kind of does it for you. So once you've got all that stuck down, give it a good press down, and then you want to start transferring all the buttons over. So yeah, pretty easy step now, just transferring all the buttons. Don't forget to include everything. We also need to put in this sticker in front of the screen just to hold it in place. So it will go here. Right, so when that's all put together, it should look something like this. So you've got the sticker at the front, the screen stuck to the sticker, holding it in place, and then we rest the motherboard on the back of the screen like that. And all that's left to do is to put it all back together the same way as we took it apart. So I'll jump ahead of that and show you it together. Right, so we're kind of at the final stages. We've got the screws in, everything like that, but the one thing I would heavily recommend if you were to do this yourself is a electric screwdriver. I kind of got stuck, couldn't get the screws in far enough. I then pulled out the electric screwdriver and sailed through putting it back together. So yeah, recommended. So the screen has a little film on the front just to protect it, so I'm in two minds whether to remove that yet or not. It does look a little bit greasy with it on, but if I peel that off, it'll be fine. So yeah, once it's all back together, it looks all right, to be fair. Just checking the buttons all feel like they're responsive. They're actually going to be able to hit the pads inside. It's a shame about the paint on the top, but yeah, I think it looks all right, to be fair. I need to put in the other screw in the battery compartment, but once that's done, it should look all right. The only thing left to do is put the stickers on the back, and I'm the worst for trying to put stickers in. I think it's because I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I want it to look great, so I'll keep taking it off and reapplying it, and I'll just mess it up. But I'm going to try not to worry too much because of how cheap this case is. It doesn't need to be perfect. This is just a trial, just to see if I could actually do it. And then just the last one to go on. This one was a bit more difficult, not gonna lie. It doesn't fit fully into the actual slot, so it's just trying to find where the best place is to pin it down, but I think I should have gone slightly higher because you can see a bit of a gap in front of it there. Now all that's left to do is a bit of a test run. So I put the batteries back in. Unfortunately, the only game I've got to hand at the moment is Shrek. Probably not the best. You would have preferred a bit of a Pokemon game to test run it with. So I have to say, the camera doesn't do the screen justice. It looks amazing. It's crystal clear. You don't get the lines down it like you saw at the start there. It's just because I'm trying to film it, so it doesn't go well when you're trying to film over it. But it's so much better having a backlit screen on a Game Boy Advance. All the buttons seemed like they were working. So I think, to be totally honest, it was a complete success. And like I say, I believe in keeping the consoles exactly the same. Don't really like making changes to them. But where you've got a beat up one, where you want to kind of give it another lease of life, I would highly recommend swapping up the case, changing the screen, and then it makes it a bit more enjoyable to play it on a more colourful screen, backlit as well. So this is the one I'm actually going to use to play on. My other one I'm just going to keep as part of the collection, and it's all authentic and not been edited in any way. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll try and answer them. But like I say, I'm by no means an expert. What I also wanted to quickly show you is that this screen, you can change the brightness. I don't know if you can see that. So where you just touch here, it's got a little sensor inside. It's picking up me tapping the screen. So you won't waste batteries really quickly because you can put it on a low setting. But yeah, it's just a cool little feature I thought I'd show you as well. So thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned for the next video.